Any advice?
Take it steady. Breathe.
Breathe. I'm going to start with a confession. I don't like swimming, and it's all because of a childhood swimming lesson I had, but we'll get back to that later. If I don't like swimming, then why am I preparing to go for a wild swim in a secret spot? Well, my good friend Zoe tells me that it's the secret to unlocking creative success. And she should know. She is the brains behind Mustard and Grey, a contemporary design studio that specialises in homeware and stationery that's inspired by the great outdoors. So I'm grabbing my gear, getting ready for an outdoor coffee brew, and hitting the trail with Zoe to find out why wild swimming could be the key to unlocking my creative success. And who knows, maybe I'll even enjoy swimming a little bit more by the end. Let's go. What do you get out of wild swimming?
Two quite different reasons. In the winter, it is a very good rest for the mind. It's so cold that all you can do is focus on staying alive. And it's just gives your brain a rest. In the summer, it's just bliss. Being in nature, feeling the water, just a sense of being free.
I want to get into wild swimming, or I'm thinking about it. What would you say to convince me it's a good idea?
I think that swimming, wild swimming particularly, just for me, I feel like it's like a drug. It gives you that feeling of taking a drug. It's really addictive. Often people say, oh, it's not for me, I don't like being cold. It's like, well, I don't like being cold either. I don't like the feeling of being cold, but it's for a very short period of time and you have all of your other senses working. It just makes you feel amazing and you just keep wanting to come back and do more time after time.
Were you creative from an early age?
I've always been creative. Drawing and painting was my passion when I was little. I lived in a place called the Candy Woods.
That's a cool name.
It's a very cool name. It's a very cool place. It's a really tiny, steep little valley. Very idyllic. Got a wood on one side.
Yeah.
Stream running through the middle. So very, very beautiful. So I just used to wander and paint and draw.
So we've been following this path up from the car park, which just winds its way up a very steep but beautiful valley. And we're about to reach the steps of the reservoir, which I guess this is a dam, isn't it, essentially?
It is, yeah.
So we're about to climb up these steps and see what is on the other side. I have this childhood memory of a swimming lesson where I'm thrust into the deep end and I've got this sensation of sinking. I can't remember anything that followed, but I can remember that rising sense of dread. I'm still here, I'm still alive, so I either found a way to swim or somebody pulled me out. But it's what came after that sticks with me. A vending machine in the swimming pool lobby sold a snack called knickknacks. And after that swimming lesson, nothing had ever tasted so good. I was alive, I'd survived, and I was ready to take on the world. Now, as the reservoir came into view, I realised that the shimmering blue waters I'd hoped for were in fact dark brown and uninviting. I suddenly felt several degrees cooler, and my sense of childhood dread began to surface like some great beast from the depths. Any fish in there?
Yep.
There are?
There are.
Do they pester you when you're...
No. When you swim in the evening and the flies are out, they'll often be jumping up around you.
Oh wow.
But it's just a sign of
Healthy water.
Yeah. There was a fish, did you see?
As I stood at the water's edge, I pushed aside my childhood fears and focused instead on those knickknacks, that tasty snack, which was proof that I could do this, that everything would taste sweeter and that my creativity would be unlocked. Inspiration would flow. Sorry to interrupt, but I've got a favour to ask you. If you love getting outdoors, you like tasty coffee with good company, then please consider subscribing to our channel. We're trying to build out a fantastic community and we want you to be part of it. Right, I'm as brave as I'm ever going to feel, I think. Any advice?
Take it steady, breathe slow, and don't go out of the depth until you regain your breath.
It was really cold and my body was screaming for me to get out. I can't tell you, every fibre of me was saying, get out of this water, you idiot. But I listened to Zoe's words, I took it slow. After a while, your body gets used to the freezing cold, the tingling passes, and actually, it's not so bad. It's sort of pain mixed with euphoria, isn't it? Mm. So the inspiration I'm finding now is for warmth.
Ready for a nice hot cup of coffee.
I'm ready for a nice cup of coffee. Well, thank you for that.
You're very welcome.
That is my first, I've never actually been wild swimming in that sort of sense where I've purposely gone out to find a spot to go swimming.
And how did it feel?
It felt refreshing.
Relaxing?
I found it quite euphoric actually,
yeah.
in a strange way. It forces you to calm down, doesn't it? Literally take breath, take stock of your situation. And at one point I was definitely freaking out in my head. I was like, you've just got to get out, you've got to get out. And once I sort of worked my way through that,
overcome it.
It wasn't so bad.
I think it gives you that I can overcome anything. If I can do this, I can do anything.
With the swim behind us, it was time for a warming cup of coffee, and I was hoping that Zoe was ready to share her secrets to creative success. I want to know about your relationship to coffee.
My husband would say coffee is life.
I like that. Coffee is life.
Most important part of our morning. So it starts that every morning my husband makes me a cup of coffee before I get out of bed. It's very good of him.
He's a keeper.
He is a keeper. So he brings me a cup of coffee and then I'll get up. Doesn't happen until...
So you stay in bed for your first coffee?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. How do you function without coffee?
I wouldn't know.
I'm testing you out today because I've got this hand grinder I've not used before. And we've got this nice little drip filter. So we're going to make a drip.
Glad to be a guinea pig.
Yeah.
So a portable hand grinder.
There is nothing like freshly ground coffee, as you'll know as a coffee connoisseur. So we've got our whole beans, Devil's Chair, so our Great Taste Award winner. So you chuck them in the top. And it's got a little container in the bottom to collect them. Don't know how long you've got to grind for though.
No.
How do you know you're with a coffee snob? They're carrying a hand grinder. Right, quick fire round. You see yourself as a creative or an entrepreneur first?
Creative.
What's the key to creative success?
Being open to things, to exploring different ideas, to, I think not being closed-minded, being open.
What does success look like to you?
I think, success looks different to everybody, doesn't it? To me, success looks like having enough time to get outdoors, to have time with my family, not to have to be thinking about work all of the time. So I'd say I prioritise my family life. Success is having the time to be with them.
So as we come to the end of our walk, I'm keen to go back to where we first started, which was you as a little girl. You were learning to draw. If you could sit down with that little girl now and give her some pieces of advice, what would you say?
Not to worry, that you don't know yet exactly where your life is going to go, or you're often asked when you're young, what do you want to be when you're a grown-up? And
what did you say when you were
an artist?
Wow. Yeah.
And actually that wasn't quite the path I wanted to take, really. But it was okay that I didn't know, but you felt like you had to give an answer.
Of course.
So just, very cliche, but to enjoy the journey and see what you end up doing.
Don't worry.
Don't worry.
Be happy.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Cue song, cue music. Well, that's a really nice way to end our coffee ramble, and I'm really grateful for you spending the time with me.
Thank you.
Showing me that amazing wild swimming spot. And for teaching me a little bit about my own resilience.